The wind screamed over the dunes, carrying shards of sand like tiny blades. The sun blistered overhead, merciless and white. In the chaos, a fragile creature clawed at the burning sand, a turtle, its shell cracked, eyes dull, limbs trembling. It was ancient, weathered by time, yet impossibly alive. Buried halfway beneath the surface, its breath shallow, it stirred weakly as if resisting the sands of extinction themselves. A vulture circled overhead. From a distance, footsteps crunched, heavy, deliberate, unsure. Mira, a wildlife responder in her mid-30s, sprinted into frame. Her eyes locked on the creature, horror overtaking her breath. "No, no, you're real," she whispered, dropping to her knees. She touched the turtle's shell, warm, splintered. Sand poured from its mouth like a broken hourglass. Time was running out. Mira fumbled for her satchel, hands shaking. Somewhere behind them, an engine rumbled, too far to help, too close to ignore. The world held its breath. Mira scooped the turtle into her arms with the care of someone lifting a fallen star. Its body sagged, weightless and frail, against her chest. "Hang in there," she whispered, her voice trembling with desperation. The heat pressed against her skin like fire. She sprinted downhill, dodging cacti and stones, boots slipping. In her grasp, the turtle groaned, a dry, pitiful sound. She stumbled once, fell hard, arms wrapped around the creature. Blood smeared across her elbow. She didn't stop. Somewhere below the ridge was her truck, a lifeline. The world spun with heat and panic. Mira gasped, "You're not dying on my watch." Every breath felt like swallowing smoke. Her grip never loosened. Each step became a battle against time and terrain. And yet, somewhere deep inside, the turtle's head shifted slightly. A flicker of will to live. The battle had begun. The truck door flung open with a metallic groan. Mira threw her satchel aside and gently placed the turtle onto a worn towel in the passenger seat. She slammed the door shut, engine roaring to life. The AC spit warm air before switching to cool. Not fast enough. She reached into the glove box, pulled out a hydration syringe. "Come on," she muttered, easing the nozzle near the turtle's mouth. A single drop fell. Nothing. Then, a twitch. A breath. "Yes," she exclaimed. Mira gripped the steering wheel, sweat trailing down her jawline. "We're getting out of this hellhole." Dust exploded behind the tires as the truck sped into the blinding desert. On the seat, the turtle stirred weakly. Through the cracked windshield, the road ahead rippled in waves of heat. It was a long shot, but they had a chance. As the truck hurtled down the uneven path, Mira's mind raced faster. The turtle was like no species she'd ever seen, ancient patterns across its shell, eyes too wise for this world. She grabbed her phone and snapped a picture. No signal. "Of course," she growled. But the image stunned her. Not just injury, but history carved into flesh. The lines on its shell resembled tribal markings, echoing centuries of forgotten lore. Mira frowned. Her grandfather once spoke of a spirit turtle lost to time. She had dismissed it as folklore. Now, staring at this fragile relic beside her, doubt gave way to awe. The turtle groaned again. A rasping, old sound. Mira whispered, "What are you?" As if in answer, the wind outside howled louder. The sky darkened subtly. Something was shifting. A sudden jolt. The truck skidded violently as one tire struck a buried rock. Mira gripped the wheel, heart in her throat. "Hold on," she screamed. The turtle slid across the seat. Mira lunged, catching it midair. The truck fishtailed before correcting. She hit the brakes, dust storming up in every direction. Silence. Only the engine's idle and her hammering heartbeat. Mira gently returned the turtle to the towel, breath shaky. Then she saw it. Under the turtle's shell, something shimmered. A glyph. Glowing faintly, etched like a scar. Her fingers hovered near it, hesitant. As she touched it, a chill shot up her spine. The world seemed to pause. Birds overhead froze mid-flight. Time blinked and resumed. Mira recoiled, blinking. No, that didn't just happen. But it had. Mira pulled into the dusty outpost veterinary shelter, a squat concrete building with faded signage and no staff in sight. She cradled the turtle and stepped out, calling, "Hello, emergency, I need help." Only silence answered. The midday heat was suffocating. Inside, the lights flickered to life as she burst through the door. The air smelled of antiseptic and sun-baked paint. She placed the turtle on the nearest metal table, hurried to sanitize her hands, and began prepping the IV drip from a nearby cabinet. Her breath came in short gasps. "You've made it this far," she whispered to the turtle. "Let's keep going." She cleaned its wounds gently. Blood oozed sluggishly, dark and thick. Mira's hands trembled as she spotted internal bruising and shallow respiration. "Come on, old soul, don't give up on me now." Her phone buzzed. Still no signal. No help was coming. She was alone, and the turtle's fate was in her hands. Time passed in silence, broken only by the rhythmic beeping of a portable monitor Mira had found in the storage closet. It stuttered irregularly, each tone a battle cry against death. Mira sat beside the turtle, staring. Her hand rested gently on its shell, feeling each weak rise and fall of breath. The glyph still glowed faintly, pulsing like a heartbeat. She opened her notebook, sketched the markings with a trembling pencil, labeling curves and symbols. The resemblance to petroglyphs she'd seen on canyon walls decades ago was uncanny. Her grandfather's stories came back. Stories of a guardian turtle that protected sacred time, said to disappear when forgotten by man. "Are you that guardian?" she asked softly. The turtle moved its head, ever so slightly. Mira's eyes widened. The symbols on its shell pulsed brighter for just a moment. Connection had been made. Mira's flash drive clattered onto the workstation. She connected it to the dusty computer, praying the terminal still worked. The fan groaned as it booted up. She navigated old field reports, her fingers flying. She uploaded photos of the glyph to her archived image database, petroglyph scans, tribal carvings, and cave etchings from her years in wildlife anthropology. A match popped up. "No way," she breathed. The same pattern appeared on an ancient stone in the ruins of Wadi al-Sara, a site untouched for centuries. The symbol meant keeper of the old tide. Mira leaned back, stunned. Her voice cracked. "You're not just rare, you're history itself." The turtle shifted again. The wound across its shell glowed for a second, then dull. The air in the room felt colder, as though the past had seeped into the present. Footsteps echoed suddenly in the hallway. Mira turned sharply. A man entered, lean, mid-40s, sunburnt face, wearing ranger's khakis and a skeptical frown. "Heard someone broke in," he said flatly. Mira stood defensively. "I didn't break in. I needed help. This turtle." He cut her off. "You mean the one glowing on the table?" His sarcasm didn't mask his unease. He stepped closer, gaze sharpening. "Where did you find this?" Mira explained the dunes, the injury, the glyph. His jaw clenched. "That symbol. That's from the valley. You shouldn't have brought it here." Mira stared at him. "You know what this is?" The man hesitated. "I've seen the mark before, but only in forbidden zones. Locals say those animals don't just belong to nature, they belong to time." He looked at the turtle with something approaching fear. Mira didn't back down. "I'm not letting it die because of legends," she snapped. The ranger's tone softened. "It's not legend. It's law. Tribal law, older than this land's borders." He stepped closer. "You crossed a sacred line bringing it here. That creature's presence unbalances time itself. You've felt it, haven't you?" Mira hesitated. The frozen birds. The chill when she touched the glyph. "Yes," she admitted. The ranger nodded solemnly. "Then you understand why this can't go public. If the government finds out, they'll dissect it. But the elders, they might know what to do. They're the only ones who can decide its fate. Mira looked down at the turtle. Its breathing was steadier now, but its future had just grown more uncertain. Then take me to them, she said. The ranger studied her, then gave a slow nod. We leave at dawn. Dawn arrived wrapped in a blood-orange sky. Mira and the ranger, whose name she learned was Elias, drove in silence across a rugged expanse toward the Valley of the Elders. The turtle, now resting inside a softly padded crate, emitted a faint hum, the glyph on its shell pulsing slowly with the rhythm of the desert wind. Mira kept stealing glances at it. It's like it's breathing with the earth, she murmured. Elias didn't answer. His knuckles were tight on the wheel. Once we cross that ridge, he finally said, there's no turning back. If the elders deem it a breach, they'll bury it. And maybe us. Mira stared ahead at the ridge, rising like a jagged scar in the land. Then we convince them it's worth saving, she said quietly. The truck climbed higher, the sky burning brighter. The road to judgment had begun. As they passed the ridge, the land changed. Vegetation thickened, desert turning subtly green. Time itself seemed slower, as if the wind moved more deliberately. At the edge of a petrified canyon, Elias stopped the truck. We walk from here, he said. They lifted the crate together. The turtle stirred, its breath sensing with distant echoes. The path ahead twisted through ancient stone pillars and petroglyph-covered boulders. Mira traced her fingers across a symbol, the same one on the turtle's shell. It's older than recorded history, she whispered. A soft vibration buzzed through her fingertips. Elias pulled her hand back. Don't touch them, the stones remember. As they descended into the canyon, the world grew hushed, not silent but reverent. Like nature itself was watching. At the canyon's heart stood a gathering circle of stone, weathered, massive, and carved with faces worn by time. 3 elders waited, wrapped in cloaks of bone-colored cloth, their eyes unblinking. One stepped forward, a woman with deep lines and silvered braids. She looked at Mira, then at the crate. You've brought us the last keeper, she said without surprise. Mira opened the lid. The turtle blinked slowly, and the glyph glowed brighter. The elder knelt. It is wounded, but the glyph still speaks. Elias bowed. She didn't mean to trespass. The elder looked at Mira. You carry both reverence and ignorance. That is dangerous. Mira stepped closer. Then teach me. Let me help. A long silence followed, broken only by a sudden gust of wind. The elders exchanged glances. We will begin the trial, the woman said. The trial wasn't one of guilt, it was a test of alignment. The elders led Mira and Elias to a sanctuary cave carved into the cliff wall. Inside, murals depicted turtles in celestial formations, glyphs spiraling through time. Mira felt dizzy. What is this place? She whispered. The elder woman spoke. This is where time fractures, where the keepers decide who remembers and who forgets. She motioned Mira forward. Place your hand on the wall. Mira hesitated, then obeyed. The instant her skin touched the stone, visions surged, oceans rising, cities fading, forests returning. The turtle swam through each image, eternal, ever watching. Mira gasped, eyes wide, hand trembling. The cave glowed faintly. You are linked now, the elder said. The turtle has chosen, but that choice has consequences. Mira stumbled from the cave, heart racing. The connection had changed her. Time didn't feel linear anymore. It felt circular, fragile. Elias caught her arm. You all right? She nodded slowly. I saw everything, not just history, future echoes. Behind them, the turtle let out a stronger breath than before. Its eyes opened, bright and alert. The elders watched with unreadable expressions. The keeper stirs, one murmured. Its bond is solidified. But just then, a distant sound shattered the reverence. A drone overhead, followed by the hum of approaching engines. Elias cursed. Government patrols. Mira's stomach dropped. How? Elias pulled a transmitter from his belt, its red light blinking. They tracked us. Mira's eyes locked on the turtle. We have to move, now. The trial was over. The war had begun. The drone whirred overhead, scanning with cold precision. Mira ducked behind a boulder, clutching the crate close. Elias radioed frantically on a static-filled channel. Unit Alpha, stand down. This is a conservation emergency. Silence. Then a robotic voice replied, asset identified. Extraction imminent. Mira's eyes flared. They called it an asset. The elders emerged calmly, as if nothing surprised them. You tried to outrun time, the eldest said. But time always catches up. The canyon trembled faintly, not from fear, but awakening. Glyphs along the walls lit up, echoing the turtle's pulse. They're calling to it, Mira whispered. The drone's the tech. It's not just chasing us, it's reacting to it. The elder placed a hand on the rock. They don't understand, but they want to control it. Mira stood, defiant. Then we don't let them. Her voice carried like thunder in the ancient stillness. From above, 2 black jeeps barreled into the canyon, tires kicking up plumes of dust. Armed agents disembarked, scanning the area with thermal gear. Don't move, one barked, raising a rifle. Mira stepped forward, hands raised, body shielding the crate. This animal is protected under tribal and international conservation law, she shouted. An agent scoffed. This isn't an animal. It's a temporal anomaly. Mira froze. How do you know that? He tapped his earpiece. Classified. It's been tracked since '88. Elias stepped beside her, hand on his belt knife. You're not taking it. The standoff crackled with tension. Then, without warning, the turtle emitted a deep harmonic tone. Not a cry, but a resonance. Everyone paused. The glyphs across the canyon pulsed brighter. And in that moment, one of the agents lowered his weapon, visibly shaken. I saw something, he muttered. The turtle had awakened more than just itself. The air grew dense, humming like a living wire. The turtle lifted its head fully for the first time, eyes glowing like molten amber. Its shell glistened, glyphs swirling with shifting light patterns. It's projecting, one elder said. Visions burst across the canyon wall, shimmering images of extinct species, crumbled cities, reborn forests, a timeline rewritten by nature's will. Everyone watched in breathless awe. The lead agent stumbled back, sweat beading on his forehead. What the hell is this? Mira whispered. It's memory. Collective memory. The turtle's power wasn't destruction. It was restoration. An ancient biological archive. The elders nodded. It remembers what we chose to forget. And with each projection, a wave of clarity passed over the agents. The one who had lowered his weapon dropped to his knees, weeping. The future wasn't fixed. It could still be rewritten. The projections faded, and with them, the tension fractured. One agent backed away, muttering, "This isn't what we were told." Another nodded. "We were sent to seize a threat, not preserve a miracle." But the commander was unmoved. "Orders remain. Extract the subject." He stepped forward, gun raised. Before Mira could react, the eldest elder placed herself between him and the turtle. "You raise your weapon in a sacred place of memory," she warned. The commander didn't flinch. Then, a crack in the canyon wall. A jet of wind erupted, blasting dust into the air. The turtle pulsed brighter, louder, the glyph now a full beacon. The canyon responded, groaning like a breathing giant. Stones shifted. The commander stumbled, dropped his rifle. The turtle's power wasn't just symbolic. It was tied to the earth. And the earth was no longer quiet. Silence fell as the dust settled. The agents, humbled, stepped back. Elias approached the turtle, kneeling with reverence. "It's not just a creature," he said. "It's a guardian, and a warning." The eldest elder turned to Mira. "The trial is over. You are now a keeper." Mira blinked. "But I don't understand." The elder touched her forehead. "Understanding comes in time, but action must come now." The glyph on the turtle's shell split, a clean line, like a door opening. From it, a small metallic shard emerged, humming with ancient energy. Mira picked it up. It pulsed in her hand. "What is it?" she asked. "A key," the elder whispered. "To what?" Mira said. The elder's eyes narrowed. "To memory or oblivion. It depends who holds it." And in the far distance, another drone began its descent. Act 4 ended not in peace, but with a secret born. The second drone dropped fast, sleeker and louder than the first. Elias swore under his breath. "They're not here to negotiate." The shard in Mira's hand pulsed furiously, matching the turtle's glow. She turned to the elders. "We need to move it. Now." The eldest nodded. "There is one place left, the heart." Elias stiffened. "You mean the cavern?" The elder replied. "Yes, where keepers were born." Mira didn't hesitate. She placed the shard back into the turtle's shell. A flash of light burst outward, not blinding but pure. "Let's go," she shouted. Elias and the elders helped lift the crate. The canyon trembled again, but this time the sound wasn't from collapse. It was opening. A crevice cracked in the far wall, revealing stairs spiraling down into glowing mist. Mira looked once at the sky, then descended. Behind her the drones screamed. They plunged into the earth, guided only by the soft glow of ancient glyphs etched into the spiraling walls. The air turned cooler, damp with memory. At the bottom lay a vast chamber, carved with impossible precision, its domed ceiling painted with constellations that didn't match the night sky. Mira's breath caught. "This isn't just a cavern," she whispered. "It's a vault." The turtle stirred. A platform in the center hummed to life. Mira stepped forward and gently placed the crate onto it. The glyphs ignited across the chamber, syncing with the creature's breath. Elias circled the chamber's edge. "Why build this beneath the desert?" The elder spoke low, "Because time must be rooted in stillness." Then, the platform cracked open. The turtle floated upward, suspended by energy. Its eyes glowed brighter than ever before, awake and aware. Suddenly, the vault shuddered. A voice echoed through a hidden speaker, cold, metallic. "Surrender the artifact or we breach." Mira's eyes narrowed. They found the entrance. Elias gritted his teeth. "We hold them here." The elders moved swiftly, placing palms on embedded stones, the chamber responding with rising walls and swirling glyphs. "This place is not just for hiding," one said. It was designed to protect. Above, booted footsteps thundered as agents descended the stairway. Mira clutched the shard. "We have to give the turtle a choice." The elders nodded. Mira stepped to the platform, holding the shard above her head. "If you are truly the keeper, choose your fate." A brilliant beam burst from the turtle's shell, enveloping the room. All time stopped. No breath, no sound. A decision was made. Time resumed with a thunderclap. The agents collapsed mid-step, groaning, disoriented. Mira remained standing, eyes glowing faintly, as though something ancient now pulsed inside her. The turtle hovered higher, body surrounded by rings of drifting glyphs. Its voice echoed, not in sound, but in thought. "The choice is made. I remain." The elders bowed. Elias fell to one knee. Mira clutched her head, overwhelmed. She saw flashes of futures. Oceans healed, forests regrown, cities rebuilt in balance. Then, silence. The turtle descended slowly, landing gently at her feet. Mira knelt and touched its shell. "You stayed." The glyph pulsed once more, then dimmed to a soft glow. The agents, now awake, stood in silence, watching. Their weapons hung useless at their sides. The moment had changed everything, not through force, but memory restored. Above ground, the sun had risen fully. Mira emerged first, the turtle carried now in her arms, not as a secret, but as a truth. The agents followed, changed, silent. Elias stepped beside her. What happens now? Mira looked to the horizon. We protect it, we learn, we remember. The elders remained at the canyon edge, watching. You carry the keeper's light, one called. Do not let it fade. A drone passed overhead, this time not hostile, but still watching. Mira didn't flinch. She held the turtle higher, letting it absorb the light. The glyph shimmered softly, no longer pulsing in fear, but in harmony. The world would still hunt them. But now, the story had changed. The war for survival had become a vow of preservation. Mira turned toward the truck. Let's go home, she said. And for the first time, the turtle blinked and smiled. 3 days later, Mira stood at a temporary conservation outpost erected near the canyon, its walls made of canvas and solar mesh, bustling with gentle activity. Scientists, once skeptics, now whispered in awe as they studied the turtle. It no longer glowed with urgency, but shimmered with a calming bioluminescence, responding only to Mira's touch. She sat beside it on a low mat, notebook open, scribbling thoughts, glyphs, dreams. You're not a relic, she said softly. You're a beginning. Across from her, Elias read aloud from the tribal histories, ancient scrolls retrieved with elder permission. It says the keeper returns only when the world forgets how to listen. Mira nodded. Then it's time we start listening again. Outside, the wind had softened. Nature itself seemed to exhale. The battle was over. But the work had only begun. News spread faster than Mira anticipated. The images leaked, not of the turtle, but of the canyon's glyphs, the light, the agents walking away. It went viral. Desert Guardian found. Half the world believed it was staged. The other half wanted more. But Mira stayed silent. Instead, she worked. A protected sanctuary was mapped with the elders. Entry required respect, not credentials. At a press briefing, government spokespeople danced around the event. Rare species sighting, indigenous cooperation underway. Mira watched from a screen in the tent. They're still trying to package it, she muttered. Elias chuckled. Let them. We've got bigger things to protect. Behind them, a hatchling emerged. A second turtle, smaller, marked with the same glowing glyph. Mira froze. There's more. The elder nodded. The line was never broken. Only hidden. Mira knelt beside the hatchling, heart thudding in her chest. It's not just one miracle, she whispered. It's a legacy. The elder approached slowly, placing a hand on Mira's shoulder. The keeper was never meant to be alone. Scientists gathered, whispering excitedly but keeping a respectful distance. Elias looked around. We need to build something bigger. Mira nodded. Not just to protect them, but to teach from them. She turned to the team. New protocols, no samples, no sedation. Observation only. They agreed. No one dared breach the reverence the turtles commanded. Mira watched the hatchling follow its elder toward a shallow basin filled with filtered spring water. The older turtle dipped its head gently, and the younger mirrored it. A sacred ritual passed from one age to the next, not with words, but with memory. Mira stood outside the sanctuary walls, watching the horizon shift from burnt amber to twilight blue. In her hand, the metallic shard still pulsed faintly, though now, its glow sensed with her heartbeat. She'd become a conduit, not just of memory, but of stewardship. Journalists had started arriving near the perimeter. Drones hovered at a distance. They'll come for interviews, Elias warned. Mira shrugged. Let them. I'll speak, but not about spectacle, about responsibility. That night, under a moonlit canopy, she gave a quiet statement. No pictures. No flair. Just her voice, We don't own what we discover, we're entrusted with it. The keeper is not a miracle, it's a mirror. And then she walked away from the camera. The message wasn't for headlines. It was for the future. Later that night, Mira sat alone beside the basin, toes dipped in the cool water. The elder turtle approached slowly, now moving with calm strength. The hatchling trailed behind. Mira whispered, "You've seen the world crumble, and you stayed." The turtle stopped before her, blinking with soft light in its eyes. Then, slowly, it extended its front limb and touched her foot. A surge of warmth ran through her. She saw glimpses of a future not yet lived, rivers flowing clean, cities lit with purpose, children learning history that had once been erased. She gasped softly, tears brimming. "Thank you," she said. The turtle turned and slid back into the water, the hatchling following. Mira leaned back, staring at the stars. She was no longer chasing time. She was part of its rhythm. And for the first time, it felt eternal. Morning broke slowly over the sanctuary, the first light grazing the horizon like a brushstroke of fire. Mira walked the perimeter path alone, every footstep stirring memory. Birds returned to the canyon's edges, their songs tentative, like a world relearning how to sing. She passed the resting place of the original crate, now empty, weathered, and symbolic. The elder turtle no longer needed it. Mira paused beside a stone, newly engraved with the glyph for time. She touched it reverently. "You gave us back our future," she whispered. From the nearby basin, the turtle surfaced briefly, as if hearing her. The hatchling swam beside it, already growing stronger. Mira smiled softly. In silence, nature was rewriting itself, not from dominance, but from shared memory. And she wasn't watching anymore. She was part of it. Later that day, children from nearby villages arrived under the elder's guidance. Their eyes were wide with wonder, steps hushed in awe. Mira knelt to greet them. "You're the first," she said, "to learn from the keepers." One young girl approached the basin and extended her hand. The hatchling swam closer but did not touch, just floated there, blinking gently. The girl beamed. "It sees me." Mira nodded. "And you see it. That's what matters." The elders began to tell stories, not myths, but truths encoded in time. Glyphs were drawn in sand, each one alive with meaning. Mira stood back, watching it unfold. The baton had passed. This wasn't her story anymore. It belonged to the next generation, those who would inherit the memory and decide what to do with it. And perhaps this time they would not forget. News had changed. Not the headlines, but the tone. The media didn't get the glowing glyphs or the projections. But they got something else: reverence. New conservation pathway, the headlines read. International foundations pledged funding. Governments whispered of special status zones. But Mira stayed away from it all. She sat atop a dune one evening, the wind brushing through her hair, the stars beginning to wake. Elias joined her, sitting wordlessly. "You okay?" he asked. She nodded. "I'm more than okay. I'm small, and I like it." He smiled. "Funny how the biggest things make us feel that way." In the distance, the elder turtle climbed onto the sand and rested beneath the open sky. Its shell dimly glowed under the constellations. Mira watched. It wasn't just surviving. It was dreaming again. Time passed. Days blurred into rhythms. Mira built nothing permanent, only paths, gardens, and memory circles. The sanctuary became a living place, not a museum. Plants thrived, birds nested, water trickled where once there was silence. One evening, Mira returned from a walk and found the elder turtle waiting at her tent. It wasn't coincidence. It was invitation. She followed it to the basin. The hatchling circled once, then dove. The elder turtle turned and looked at her. It blinked once, slowly, purposefully. Then submerged. Moments passed. Then stillness. Mira waited long into the night, but it didn't surface again. She understood. It had returned to the timeline. Not gone, but folded back into its place. The keeper had finished its task. And the memory remained, not in photos, but in her bones. The next morning was clear and still. Mira stood beneath the same ridge where it all began. She looked out across the sands, now dotted with green where none had existed before. Behind her, the sanctuary pulsed gently with life, not loud, not flashy, but steady. The hatchling had stayed. So had she. Mira knelt and placed the metallic shard into the earth, burying it under a flat stone marked, "Remember." No monument. No plaque. Just soil and trust. A soft breeze picked up. She smiled. As she turned to walk back, the wind lifted slightly, carrying the sound of slow water and something older. Not a voice. A presence. And it wasn't just in the air. It was in her. As the camera pulls back, we see the ridge, the basin, the turtles, and Mira, small but essential. A ripple against extinction, a keeper of time.